Hey everybody, it's Mrs. Serrano. I'm going to be talking to you guys about what we're doing in this class and some of the new procedures that we're going to have to follow because of COVID-19 and how it impacts our class. So we're going to talk about 4 things today. First, what we're going to do in this math class. Second, classroom expectations, and that includes some of the new precautions we have to take for COVID-19. Some of the technology that we will be using in this class, and then today's assignment. So Math 11 and 12, that's what this group is. In this class, we're going to be working on a large range of math skills. Our first goal is to give you the skills that you need to succeed in a general education math class, starting with Algebra 1A. But our ultimate goal is to give you the math skills that you will need in your adult life. Sometimes this means we have to go back to the very basics, but if that's what you need, that's where we're going to go. We want to set you guys up for success. So for classroom expectations, we've got quite a bit more going on this year due to COVID-19. So first, let's talk about Chromebook. Bring your Chromebook to class every day, and I mean it, every day. Keep it charged. If your Chromebook is dying or the battery is low, charge it in the library. They're going to have a charging center in there. Bring your own charger. Because of COVID-19, we will not be allowed to loan our Chromebook chargers out to our students anymore. And you cannot borrow them from a classmate. You also do not want to loan out your own Chromebook charger to another student or to another teacher. So make sure that you always have your Chromebook charger in your backpack. Ask a teacher if you need to sit near an outlet during their class. We will be very flexible with this. The reason why we are wanting you to make sure you always have your Chromebook is because most of what we're going to be learning will be online, as well as a lot of your work. Because we cannot exchange paper assignments anymore like we used to. So it's absolutely essential that you have your Chromebook and that it's charged. Arrival to class. Now, we can't socialize like we used to, so when you come to class, you need to quickly and quietly find your desk. Make sure you have all the supplies that you're going to need for class, like your Chromebook, your pencils, and have those ready on your desk. And be ready in your seat when the bell rings. We will have objectives, or what we're going to do today in class, up on the whiteboard that you can read so you have an idea of what it is we're covering today. For sharpening your pencils, we're going to have our electric pencil sharpener up by the entrance. We will not be using our hand crank pencil sharpeners because we don't have any way to fully sanitize those. So you must be using the electric one. You can sharpen your pencil during work time, but we would prefer that you sharpen it before class begins so there are fewer disruptions and less movement, I should say, in the classroom as well. Do not sharpen your pencil while your teacher is talking because that's kind of rude. And we want to make sure that we get through as much content as we can because of our odd scheduling this year. Alright, so getting your teacher's attention. Now you can do the traditional raising your hand, or you can send me an email as well, especially since we want to minimize face-to-face contact. Wait patiently, especially if I'm working with another student, but if you feel that I haven't noticed you yet, like if I'm on my computer typing something and you've been raising your hand for a minute, it's okay to be like, hey, Mrs. Serrano. Refrain from blurting, though. So what I mean by blurting is like, we are all working quietly, and you're on a problem and you don't understand it, and you just go and say, I don't get how to do this problem. That's not very productive, right? That's not going to help me understand what you need, and it's not a very positive way to get attention from your teachers. So just say, hey, Mrs. Serrano, can you come help me with this if you feel like you're unable to get my attention otherwise. For me to get your attention, I'll call on you guys. I have ladies and gentlemen written in here, but I most often say, hey guys, listen up, or hey guys, I got something I need to tell you real quick. When I am trying to get your attention, please turn your face towards me. If you have classmates who can't hear me, either because they have earbuds in or they're like really focused on something, help them realize that I'm trying to talk to all of you and get their attention up onto me. If you don't like to maintain eye contact with a teacher, feel free to stare at the wall right behind me. That's what I do. I don't like eye contact very well either, so I understand. I just need to know that you're looking at me, that you're listening to what I'm saying, and that I have your full attention. For your manners, none of this should be new to you, of course. Always be polite to your classmates. If you are respectful in my class, you will be respected. And that goes for between you and me, and between you and your classmates, or any other person who ends up in our classroom. If I see behavior that is not respectful directed at you, I will handle it. But I expect everybody to be respectful of each other. Say please and thank you, and let's do positive greetings only. So saying something like, oh man, I don't want to be in this class, that's not very healthy. We want to say positive things like, hey Mrs. Serrano, how are you doing today? Okay. Turning in your assignments, like I said before, we're going to try to get as much online as possible to limit the amount of papers that are exchanged between us and the students. So your first option to turn in an assignment is to submit it online. If the assignment is on paper, you're going to take a picture of your assignment and submit it. We're going to talk about a few different ways to do that. There'll be a video later showing you how to do that. But the idea is you will not give that paper assignment to your teacher. You'll keep your paper copy, and you can either recycle it right then. Just make sure you definitely have copies of the pictures of it, or you can hold on to it and wait until you've gotten a grade for that assignment, and then you can recycle it. But never leave a paper assignment on a teacher's desk or have a classmate turn it in for you. You don't want other people touching your stuff, and you don't want to be touching other people's stuff. So never leave an assignment somewhere where someone else will have to touch it. If you finish your work early, which is probably likely to happen, especially since we are all learning how to work during a block period instead of our typical 45-minute class period. So it's going to take us a while to kind of adjust and get our stride. So if you do finish your work early, quietly organize your things, so put things away that you no longer use. Work on other assignments at your seat, and you'll probably have lots of work to do for other classes. It says, if allowed by teacher on this. This is just saying if there might be other assignments for you to complete for my class, make sure you do those first. But if you're caught up with all of your work in my class, then you are okay to go and work on things for other classes. Do not distract others. Make sure you always have something to do that will keep you busy. We want to make the most of the time that we are in person, because on a given week, you're only going to see me one day for the whole week. Sometimes you'll see me 2 days for the whole week. So we want to maximize the amount of time that we are focused on work, and we don't want to distract others from getting that time that they need for getting individual help. For restroom use, the restroom is going to look a little different. We ask that you take care of your restroom needs during passing time. You will have 10 minutes of passing time this year because of the changes in how all the hallways and staircases are one way, and because there are social distancing spots for the restroom. They've taken away some sinks, so kids will not be standing close to each other when you're washing your hands. There's a lot of changes with basically how we move about the building. So you will have 10 extra minutes for passing time. If you don't use the restroom during your passing time, we are not allowed to have any students leave the class during the first 10 minutes or the last 10 minutes of class. And that's to prevent possible infection or spreading of the COVID-19 virus. They will also be working on trying to sanitize surfaces in areas such as bathrooms or like where you can get your water bottle filled. So we have to keep that in mind. If you don't use the restroom during passing time, your window for when you can is very narrow. We can only have one person leave our classroom at a time. And you can go to the restroom during work time if that becomes a thing, but to limit the possibility of spreading the virus, only 3 to 4 minutes will be given for you to use the restroom. Other things to discuss. So hand sanitizer. Every classroom has this automatic hand sanitizer thing. I want you to use it the second you walk in my classroom. That's the first thing you're going to do before you go to your desk. When it's time for class to leave, the last few minutes, I will come by and spray your desk and give you each a paper towel. You're going to have to wipe down your desk and all the other surfaces on your desk that you touched, such as like the bars on the side, and then hold on to your paper towel until you leave the classroom. Then, as you leave your classroom, throw your paper towel away in the trash can by the door. Restroom pass. When you come back from the restroom, we are not going to use lanyards for the restroom passes, so you'll just have the card. When you come back in and you hit that hand sanitizer, rub that hand sanitizer all around that pass, so that way it's nice and sterilized for the next person who uses it. Lines on the floor. So each desk is going to have a box taped onto the ground. The desks cannot move outside those boxes. You can wiggle them around a little bit in those boxes, but in order for us to keep you each 3 feet apart from each other, your desk must stay in those boxes, or otherwise you can possibly be infected by someone who's 2 desks away from you. We want to limit that to just 1 desk away. There are also straight lines that you cannot pass into. Those are teacher-only spaces. So those are set up so that either we cannot contaminate you if you're in that area where we are often touching things, or you cannot contaminate us while we're working back there. We will go over emergency evacuation procedures. We will not be having any drills, though, but I will talk to you about what we do in case we have a fire alarm or a tornado alarm. But during the evacuation procedures, social distancing cannot be a thing. So your immediate safety is more important than social distancing. We understand we're going to have to kind of cram together during those evacuations. Mask protocol. Admin will be enforcing all students in the building to wear their masks, and that includes covering your nose. If you refuse to wear your mask properly, admin will be taking you out of class as soon as it's reported to them, and you'll be having a conversation about that. Pencils. Normally, I would loan out a pencil to a student, and then they would give it back to me at the end of class, and then someone else can use it later in the day. We can't do that anymore. So I can only give you 1 pencil for a week, and then I can't give you another pencil because I don't have enough pencils to last me for the whole year, and you will hold on to that pencil. You cannot give it back to me. So make sure that you have a good writing utensil for the rest of the week. Do not borrow a pencil from a classmate. Do not loan out a pencil from a classmate. Because we will be watching a lot of videos in class, make sure you have your earbuds and your headphones, or your headphones. And in case they break, or if they're like the Bluetooth kind, if they're compatible with your Chromebook, make sure you have like a cheaper pair as a spare in case something happens with your normal earbuds or headphones and you cannot use them in class anymore. Okay, I'm going to start another video for this part because I'm almost out of time on this one.